GRIS is a game that, when I saw it was nominated for 3 Game of the Year awards at 2019's event, I just saw it as another indie game that looked lovely but lacked any substance. I mean, I hadn't heard the level of buzz for GRIS that I had for indie juggernauts, like FNAF, Undertale, Celeste or Cuphead, so I never gave it any notice. Recently though, as I'm sure you're all aware, things changed. Everything changed, and I found myself personally with a lot more free time and 2 channels to make content for. So, in an attempt to start a stream of content across both channels, I decided to stream something nice, calm and chill on Slime Network. I spent probably a good hour scouring my Game Pass for something I thought would fit and be a good time, which is when I found GRIS again. Having not been on my mind for over a year, I was met with this critically acclaimed game that I'd rolled my eyes at previously. Everything I looked into before settling on that stream pointed towards GRIS being just what I was looking for. Fun, chill, simple yet complex, and thought-provoking all at once. So, I downloaded it. Now, artsy-fartsy games aren't usually my forte. I'm more of a story-based action player myself, so when I pick up titles that don't fit my usual agenda, I tend to expect something on a level above. Something that, although not easy to accomplish from a critical standpoint, is somehow a yearly tradition from indie developers, and GRIS is no exception to this rule. At face value, GRIS is a simple entry-level platformer. You control a blue-haired girl as she travels across a ruined grey world that you need to restore the colour to after she's lost her voice and her ability to sing. The first colour you return is red, and after returning the colour red, this leads you to the second location of the game, which is a stark difference to the first. The start of the game is a barren, crumbling grey wasteland devoid of anything or anyone. After returning the red to the world, you travel through a violent desert, repeatedly thrashing winds at you, causing you to stumble through your progression, sometimes even causing you to fall back. These winds only stop becoming a problem after you unlock the block ability, allowing the girl's cloak to solidify and keep her moving forward against the strength pushing her back. After this, the game follows a simple formula. The girl travels across a new landscape, finds something blocking her progression, then she finds an ability to overcome it, and restores colour to the world and moves on. That's the gameplay loop, and it's pretty much what you would expect from a 2D platformer. Rather simple, to be honest. Now, if you paid attention to the wording I used earlier, I said GRIS was an entry-level platformer at face value, which may be something to get that questioning twinkle in those eyes you have there. You see, in terms of the mechanics of GRIS, and this is in no way a disrespectful statement at all, it is just that. It is just an entry-level platformer. However, it's outside of its gameplay loop that GRIS shows its true colours. The most significant part that puts GRIS above other contemporaries in a genre is how it tells its story. GRIS has no dialogue or text boxes throughout the entire game. The story of GRIS is explained entirely through the animation of the world and characters in it, alongside the musical cues. This isn't a Mario or a Mega Man. If you want to know the story and how it progresses as you play, you need to pay attention to the world and its atmosphere as you're progressing through. Something not enough titles do nowadays, and the change from the status quo of gaming was both a welcoming and refreshing one, especially considering the adult nature of GRIS' story. At the end of 2019, after GRIS released, it was a game I dismissed as nothing more than an indie darling platformer that got popular because it looked nice. After biting the bullet and dipping my toes into something that I had initially written off as nothing more than VGA bait, I've come to learn just how wrong I was a year and a half ago. Have I properly explained everything about GRIS in this video? No. I haven't even touched on what the story actually means, but that's where GRIS works so well. If I explain the story in this video, it ruins the story. You don't get to experience the emotions that you get when you work it out yourself. GRIS is that magical, you need to play it yourself to get what's going on. That truly is where GRIS shows just how complex it is in its simplicity.